Hey guys, what's up? In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to manage a 112 trade so that if the market goes up, you know what to do. If the market goes down and pulls back a bit into the bear trap range, you know what to do. And if the market majorly crashes, you'll know how to manage that trade. I'll also go over the best percentages for taking profit, for doing stop losses, and the different options you have for hedges. So let's dive in and explain how to properly manage a 112. I've been trading 112s on ES and CL for the past 3 months now. Just that's the only strategy I do, and I made $21,000 from it. So it's literally a great strategy, but I've been testing and trading and perfecting and back testing 112s for the last 6 months. So let's dive into all the research and kind of things that I found with it. So let's take a look at a real scenario. This is the S&P 500 ES futures contracts. And so we're going to look at some scenarios. So scenario number one is, how do we manage a trade if the market continues to go up, right? Because that's what the market does most of the time. So let's cover that first. So again, let's say we enter a 112 trade right here. So that will give us a payoff graph of something like this, where if the market goes up, we'll make money. So this is making money. And then we'll come down here, and then once we get to about here, we'll have a further profit, and then it'll look something like this. So this is a sideways profit graph, just so you can kind of understand it. AKA, if the market stays in this level right here, we'll make about $1,000. That tends to be what a 112 does if you're trading it on ES. And then if it drops down into this bear trap, it'll make about 3,000. And then if it crashes down below, then you have potentially unlimited loss here. So let's talk about each one of these scenarios. If the market, just like normal, continues to trend up, how do we manage this trade? Well, we do scenario number one, just a normal uptrending market. We want to take profit. Why? Well, because as the stock goes up, we're going to be able to realize that profit faster. And that's because the base of the 112 trade is we're selling 2 puts. And as the market goes up, those puts will get cheaper, which means we make money, and we should close that out early. So this is typically how you play out an 80 to 90% take profit on those 2 puts. So on the naked puts, I'm going to call that NP, so naked puts. So 80 to 90% profit on the naked puts. If you get to that, you can close out the trade. Now, when you close out the trade in a market that is going up, typically what you want to do is you want to convert it into a hedge to protect future downside. Why? Because you're probably overlapping these 112 trades, as you have, one and then one like every week or something like that. And so you want a hedge to protect the downside. So what you can do with a 112 is turn it into either a put debit spread hedge, or you can turn it in to a ratio hedge. Again, I'll be making other videos in the future that explain this more in depth and exactly what this is, but these are kind of your 2 options. Or you can just close the entire position. Once you have a hedge on, you can probably close the entire position, but it's recommended to have some hedges on just to protect future downside. Okay, so that's what we do in scenario number one if the market is headed higher. Now, how do we manage our losses if the market pulls back and starts coming down into a bear trap? Why do I say manage losses? The reason being is because just because we get a larger payoff in this area where we can make 3,000 if the market gets into it, the market dropping into this level will still show us a temporary loss on those trades. Why? Because the market's dropping, so it's not going in our favor, so we're going to lose money because of that, and volatility is going to spike, which is also going to lead to larger losses for this trade. So what we do is we're looking for into this bear trap to manage it at a stop loss of around 300%. So again, we're looking for a 300% stop loss. So I'm just going to put SL for that. I know my spelling is terrible. But anyways, we're looking for a 300% stop loss. If it never hits the 300% stop loss and it stays in this level, then guess what? If it expires in this level, then we get our huge payout. But we need to make sure to manage risk because, again, the 112, despite being in the max profit zone, will still show a negative result. So we need to manage those trades correctly because this will increase buying power and lead to a lot of issues with your account if you don't manage the trade correctly. So you're looking at a 300% stop loss. Now, like mentioned before, if you do have some 112 trades that you were able to close around this profit level, and then turn into a hedge, then this will soften the blow as the market drops. And so this 300% stop loss will be able to get moved a bit because we have profits being generated from our hedges. So that's one of the benefits of using hedges. So we covered what happens if it goes up or stays the same, what happens if it drops into the bear trap, Now, what happens if the market just falls off the face of the planet? Well, this is going to just be where you just use your same default 300% stop loss, okay? Why? Well, because we don't know what falling off the face of the planet is. Again, if you want to use some technical indicator like a moving average to kind of justify when to exit, you can do that as well. But again, a 300% stop loss is pretty solid to know when to do that. And so we can exit out of that and be able to do that. Also, if you're expiring and you're out of the money here and you got that far, so if you're expiring in the money, which is what these two short puts are going to be, expiring ITM, which means in the money, then you want to close out that trade. So close out that trade because you don't want risk of assignment on a futures contract. So you should just close that out. If we're talking like you're a few days until expiration and you're pretty far in the money, then you might as well just close out those trades. But most likely you'll hit the stop loss level first. So again, that's exactly how you want to manage these 112 trades in every scenario. But if you're someone who's like, Austin, I have a busy job, I have a family, I have kids, I don't want to spend time on the screen. Like, is there a way to have all this managed for me? And well, yeah, actually there is. I built this tool called the Options Auto Trader. You can see here I've been using it for my 112s, and I made $17,700 with it. And again, this has automated my entire 112 strategy. It's gotten in for me. It's managed trades. It's exited. It's turned them into hedges and all that for me. So you can see here all the trades that it's entered, and then again the hedges that it's turned it into automatically. So you may be like, Austin, okay, how does this work? Because I don't want a bot that's doing something that I don't know. Well, again, this is something that you have full control over. So let me set one up for you. First thing you do is you connect your broker. Then you create a 112 auto trader. So again, this auto trader will only do what you tell it to do. So let's set up the rule. So 112 strategy. I pick what I want to trade it on, ES, MES, CL, GC, whatever. Let's pick MES for this example. I pick how far out in the future I want to go. Best practice is 90 days, where you buy the 25 delta, you sell the 23 delta, and then again, you can sell 2 of the 7 deltas, or you can change this to be whatever matches how you trade right now, and then save and continue. So that tells the auto trader how to enter these trades. Next, we want to define how often we want to enter trades. So we can do once a week on Wednesdays. It's pretty standard. But again, if you want to enter in multiple times a week or maybe only once a month, you can set that up too. You can also set up to only enter during red days or different things like that. Next, we need to manage take profit and stop loss. So again, 80% to 90% is your take profit range. Your stop loss, you can set at 300%. Now we'll manage the stop loss for you on the entire trade because this manages the entire trades. Next, you can also turn it into a hedge at the profit target. So once it hits an 80% profit, we can close the entire trade. We can turn it into a PDS hedge or a ratio hedge. But again, I'll be having a video soon that explains how to do that manually. And then how much money we want to trade with. Let's just say 5,000 for this example. And just like that, you can see here I created a 112 auto trader that will enter for me, manage my trades, turn them into hedges, and just do everything for me as I set it up. And if you just want to make sure you understand what it's doing, you can read what you set up on the settings. And you can see here that these 112s do exactly what I told them to do, and they're making me good money. Why? Because the 112 strategy is profitable in and of itself. And so if you automate the entire process, it's basically free cash flow every single month. So if you're interested in that, click the link down below to get started or watch a masterclass on how to automate any strategy. All right, guys, see you in the next video, and I hope you enjoyed it.